the sheriff who's investigating the fatal shooting of a moviegoer this week in Florida, and the state's stand your ground defense doesn't apply in this case, but an attorney said it likely does, which is totally insane. Attorney Stephen Romine said, what most people understand is the law is not concerned with what started your argument. The law is not concerned about how petty it is. The law is concerned about the acts between two people, the person who died and the person who did the shooting. Retired police captain Curtis Reeves was charged, in case you didn't get the memo on what I'm talking about, with second-degree murder after he shot 43-year-old Chad Oulson to death Monday afternoon because he refused to stop sending a text message to his 2-year-old daughter's daycare provider.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Here's a couple other quotes, because I mean, it's like, who's going to come out for the popcorn killer? I think we're just talking about this because, you know, we kind of have to. From our investigation, it seems simply that the agitation of some people using their cell phone to text has caused this. The suspect was sitting there. They had an argument about texting. The victim turned around, threw something, a shot is fired, and the next thing you know, a man is dead. So why the guy couldn't just move seats? Why the guy couldn't go out and say, you know what, I want a free ticket because I can't sit next to this a-hole. He was just looking to, his trigger finger was getting itchy and he was looking to take care of it.
Punch him. Punch him. Shove him. You would have gotten arrested, but you'd be out by now.
Yeah.
And everybody'd be alive.
To him, there is, I will be killed or I will kill him. There's nothing between
I don't think so. I think there's not I will be killed or not. I don't think he felt threatened. I think Gina says right. I think he wanted to shoot somebody.
Yeah, well,
he gets
sorry.
angry.
I'm being sarcastic. That's what he's portraying. That's what he
Right.
said in trying to get stand your ground as his defense. That he was so scared when popcorn hit his face that he was about to be wiped off the face of the earth that he had to shoot.
He didn't know it was popcorn. It could have been, you know, some exploding popcorn. That's his defense. He didn't know it was popcorn in a movie theater.
Could have been tiny grenades, possibly.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, but that's the thing. Like, you're probably right. This guy. It's not that he was scared. It's that he's crazy. The fact that you would fire at someone, you would shoot somebody because they're texting. But he's trying to make a similar argument for his defense that Zimmerman did. That they're so incompetent and they go through life with such fear that at any moment they could be killed, and so they approach any encounter as one in which they might have to use lethal force.
Death.
Yeah.
Now, do you think yourself, or do you think people are going to come again out on the side of this is why people can't be just carrying guns around willy-nilly because you don't know, you know, if something terrible is going to happen, or that has nothing to do with the, you know, carrying a concealed weapon. You just have to get the crazy people to stop buying guns.
Yeah.
Well, this guy, I mean, you know, he was a retired SWAT officer. So I don't know, you know.
How you get him to.
Right, and I get him to put the gun down, or.
He's probably allowed to carry it. Yeah.
Right, and nobody's going to get that mad here. Nobody's going to take this guy's side because the guy he shot was white, and I'm not. You know, that's partially true. You know, he wasn't, you know, it would be a different case if that kid had been somebody who looked like Trayvon Martin, who'd had the audacity to like have popcorn and wear a hoodie in the theater. But it doesn't matter. We have the situation we have, and it's horrible. And he has a 2-year-old daughter, and his wife tried to protect him and got shot in the hand. Everything about this story is hideous. And I don't know why you need to take your gun to the movie theater. I don't even know why you take your gun anywhere.
I would say because
to work because you're a police officer.
I would say because you approach the world as an irrationally scary place. Yeah. And so you pointed out that the case would be different if the victim had been a different race, which is true. But the case would also, of course, be fundamentally different if he hadn't had the gun. The defenders, I'm assuming the NRA will probably come out and make a statement at some point, will say the guns don't kill people. People kill people. But that only makes sense if you believe that this guy would have been so enraged by the texting that he would have beaten the guy to death with his bare hands. Right. Which I presume he would not have done. I think that the gun was the fundamental variable in that equation. You know,
I keep saying I want to get a cop in here to talk about this, and now I know some, and maybe we could, and I get that if cops fire their weapons, and this guy is a retired cop, fire their weapons, they fire their weapons with deadly force. There have been so many cases, so many horrible cases that we've read stories of innocent people being killed. I got it. I'm pretty sure if I had a gun and the other guy had a knife and he was coming toward me and I get it, or some point or so on, I might, like, if I feared for my life, I might try to kill him. But there are circumstances where I think, I'm gonna shoot you in the leg and see what happens. If I have to shoot you again, I will. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, are you down? I don't want to kill people. Why do you, I say that, I mean, I'm not even really joking. I know I would think, man, if I pull this trigger, I would rather not kill this person.
Yeah.
I would rather have this person have a really miserable next 4 months of rehabilitation.
Right. Well, and also kind of to that point, you think that it would be enough to intimidate the guy.
Take it out, right.
Yeah, and you know, just cock it, and then go back and watch Saving Mr. Banks.
Maybe
or
stop
you're
texting
into.
now.
Yeah, exactly. But to go from 0 to dead is
it's just so
pretty
horrible.
terrible. And it's also unfortunate that it happened in Florida because, man, of course it did.
Right, of course it did.
Why do we keep having this conversation? Like, you know, there are news outlets with their own Florida tag because so much crazy shit happens in Florida. So why does this keep happening in Florida?
I was down there recently seeing my mom, who lives about an hour north of Miami, and I like Miami. Cenk and I, as I said yesterday on the show, we met in Miami. I liked living and working on South Beach. It was fun. But Florida is a dump. The rest of that state is fucking awful, and everybody who lives there, I am sorry. I hate it. It is a string of pawn shops and oppression and wild economic inequality, like right in your face, and it's too humid, and people are irritated, and they dress dumb, and they're mean, and it's a wasteland.
Yeah.
And the cutest thing we can fantasize about Florida is that they have an adorable serial killer. That's sort of Dexter, and he's lovely.
Right.
And,
right.
Yeah,
I thought I'd missed some big story. Right.
No.
That said, the women in South Beach are ferocious.
Oh, amazing.
sure that they are.
And just on a side note, I can walk in to any bikini shop on the beach, and I go, trust me, I promise you don't have my size on top. And they're like, tell us. And they're like, would you like red, purple, leopard brown? It's like heaven on earth.
They're ready for you.
It's a swimsuit utopia.
Right. That said, rest of the state, giant dump.
The worst.